All right, we are live. So good stuff. I finally got it to work. So I'm live, and hopefully, if you're watching this and you're watching the replay, stick a hashtag replay down below so I know that you've seen the video, and you can let me know if you are. Well, let me know what you're up to. So we're on board. Let me get rid of this one. I had a test broadcast go out a minute ago, which was not ideal. So we're in, and we're live now. So that's what we want. And in today's Health as Wealth show, I'm talking to you about women's weight loss struggles. Something that I see, well, a few things that I see. I should say a few things that I see quite often, and perhaps that a few of you out there watching this might be struggling with. So before we get into that, make sure you like and you share this video. Let me know if you're watching live as well. Stick a hello. Let me know what you're up to. Did you have a nice weekend? So hopefully you had a nice weekend. It was my birthday on Friday. So I went out with Mrs. W, went to the cinema. Free Guy, good movie actually, really good movie, better than I thought it was going to be. So Ryan Reynolds does a good job there. And then it's my daughter's sort of late birthday party, and it was a chocolate party, so there was lots and lots of chocolate. So if you are watching this, stick a hello in there and let me know that you can actually hear me, because I know Facebook's comments have been a bit iffy over the last few weeks. So it would be great if you can let me know if you can hear me, and then I can get cracking as well, so making sure that we're good to go. So let me know what's going on in the world, and we can get going. So I'm gonna start anyway. So let me think. Well, actually, before we get stuck in, let me tell you about this. I've done a 5-day challenge recently, and it was early September. Did a 5-day challenge, had about 250 women on board, and it was designed to help women permanently lose weight. So rather than jumping on board the next fad diet or new exercise program, the whole thing was about making permanent changes, giving you the tools and the framework to actually get long-term or long-lasting results. So I've got another one starting on the 11th of October, which is 2 weeks today. 2 weeks. So if you're keen, then you might want to check that out, because so many of you out there, so many women out there keep hopping on all these different fad diets and things like that. I think I read somewhere the other day that the average woman does way over 100 diets in her lifetime, which is completely nuts. And so I want to stop that. So I want to make sure that you can get long-lasting results, lose the belly fat, give yourself more energy, less stress, and more importantly, stick with it long term. Okay, so that you have long-lasting results, feel more confident, get better sleep, all that. So if you're keen, if you're interested in that, you can check it out. I'll put a link down below, but if you want to go to my website, it's mybodyfixers.com, and you'll find it somewhere on the page there. There'll be a big 5-day flat belly challenge little sort of image that you should be able to find on the page there somewhere. So go and check that out. Now, in terms of some of these struggles that I see, so let me do a proper intro first. So this is the Health is Wealth show. I'm your host, Gavin. So great to see you. So if you're watching live, make sure you say hello, and it'd be great to see you. And let's see how many people we get on board today. So I can see there's a couple of people watching. There's a crazy amount of shares going on already, so that's great. So good to see you sharing it around, and it would be great if Facebook would allow some comments to get in there. God, it does my nutting when Facebook doesn't work properly. So if you have left a comment, I apologize, because I can't see any comments at the moment. Oh, here we go. We've got one finally popped in. So it says, good morning from Dawn. So good morning, Dawn. Great to have you with me. Perfect. We've got somebody in here, and hopefully you can actually hear me. So in today's show, I want to talk to you about some of the weight loss struggles that I often see, and I've got 4 or 5 different ones. Should we do that? 4 or 5 different ones? So the first one is quite simply portion sizes. So where I think, especially for anyone who's in a relationship, so you've got a partner, and for Mrs. W and I think early doors in the relationship, she realized that she could not eat the same amount as me. I eat a hell of a lot more, especially when I was way more active. But I think there's a lot of people that struggle in terms of dialing down their own food, matching it with their partner. So if you have a husband and he likes to eat, there's definitely a temptation to eat a bit more than what your body needs. Okay, so you might even dial down the portion size a little bit. It still might be a little bit too big. So just watch out for that. Snacking. Well, actually, let's go back, because obviously men and women are different. Say the average woman needs about 2,000 calories, and the average man maybe 2.5, somewhere maybe knocking on 3,000 calories. So it's obviously it's different. Now, looking at your portion sizes, are you 500 to 1,000 calories different throughout the day? Maybe, maybe not. And then when we look at your snacks as well, so a lot of people sit down together at the end of the day, crack open the snacks, whether it's the M&Ms or maybe a few glasses of wine. Are you drinking the same? Are you eating the same there as well? So just be aware of your portion sizes, especially compared to your other half, and making sure you're dialing back where necessary. Not necessarily having to count calories. Calorie counting is a no-go in my book, but definitely something to be aware of. Okay, so that's number one, portion sizes. Get to grips with that, making sure that you're eating for your own goals and for your own weight and your own activity level. Okay, men also have more muscle than women, and we'll touch on muscle in a moment. We'll definitely look at that, because that's definitely something that women are missing, especially if you're over 40. Now, the next thing is relying on slow go cardio. So I see this very, very often. So the go-to exercise for a lot of women is when they join a gym, it's right, I'm going to go and do a cycle of these exercise equipments. I'm going to go on the treadmill for 10 minutes, I'm going to do the bike for another 10 minutes, I'm going to go on the cross trainer for another 10 minutes, and maybe that's me done. Or they'll do spinning, other things. Yeah, maybe you could say, what else have we got in terms of cardio? So I think spinning is probably the main one, or RPM as some might call it. So over-reliance on those exercises, especially the stuff that's just the same pace. You might go on the treadmill, the cross trainer, whatever it happens to be, and you'll just do the same pace for the 10 minutes. Bored out your brains, clock watching. Now, I applaud you for getting in there and doing some exercise. That's great. But if you want to get better results, you need to have a little bit more intensity in there, okay? A bit more purpose, rather than just plodding along for 10 minutes or so. Now, I know a lot of people enjoy running, they go out there and they run, and that's good for the mind, it's good for the body and the soul, but in terms of it being an effective use of your time, it is not. So if you're going into the gym, and if this is just a little tip that you can do, so rather than just going at the same pace for 10 minutes, go fast for a minute, slow down for a minute, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, mix it up a little bit. That's going to give you a better calorie burn, and it's going to give you a bit more of an advantage in terms of your hormones going forward after your workout. Okay, so you want to get those hormones inside so that you can get better results after the workout as well. So what you do in the workout is going to help what happens after as well. Okay, so your metabolic rate will go up. You'll have a favorable hormonal shift in terms of dropping insulin down and spiking growth hormone. So make sure you get that in there. So I'm just seeing a few of these comments popping in there. So we've got Enid in here as well. We've got Maria. Great to see you girls. Happy to have you with me. I don't know what's going on with these comments here. So they are so way behind. So thank you for joining me and putting up with this shenanigans that's going on right now with Facebook. So where was I? I was talking about slow go cardio. So definitely an over-reliance of slow go cardio, and to a lesser degree, I think, women gravitate towards yoga, Pilates, and again, that's great, but it's not the best in terms of fat burning. Okay, in terms of getting rid of the belly and toning up your thighs and those sorts of things. Okay, so if your goal is to lose weight, mix it up. Yes, you can still do the slow go stuff. You still go running if you want to. That's absolutely fine. But mix it up. Throw some higher intensity stuff in there so that you can get better results long term. Okay, that's what I'm saying there. And I touched upon this earlier on with resistance training. Men definitely gravitate more towards resistance training, especially when they go to the gym. But you women also need to do some form of resistance training, whether it's body weight, push-ups, squats, lunges, or using the weights. If you're a complete beginner, use the machines in the gym, but ideally progress onto the dumbbells, the barbells, kettlebells, even resistance bands is better than nothing. So making sure you've got some form of resistance training in your workout program, you're going to get better results if you do that, okay? And the reason for that is more muscle burns more calories. So your resting metabolic rate, just when you're sitting there watching my ugly mug, you're going to be burning more calories if you can give your body a little bit more muscle tone, okay? And for you ladies who are perhaps a little bit more mature, so perhaps in your 50s, 60s, 70s, it's even more important because your bones are going to be getting weaker, and strength training or resistance training helps strengthen those bones. Okay, so definitely important that you do it for that reason as well. And I guess we've got, you've got to have a balance is what I'm trying to get. So I've spoken about the slow go cardio, resistance training. Have the balance. Still do the things that you enjoy, definitely, but making sure you've got at least one form of resistance training in there each week. That's definitely going to help you out. And then a bit more intensity. And you can combine these things. You can do strength training with a bit more high intensity stuff. So you can, for example, you could perhaps do what I would call, or what is called peripheral heart action, where you would do 3 minutes on a bike or a run, and then you would do a handful of exercises. So 3 minutes, a decent pace, so cardio, getting your heart rate up, but then going into resistance exercise. So you might do an upper body, lower body, core. And that's a really great way. And you might do 3 rounds of that lot. So 3 minutes on the bike, your 5 different exercises, your resistance-based exercises, hop back on the bike, again, cycle it round. That's a really good form of metabolic conditioning where you're still getting that strength training component in there as well. Okay, so give that a whirl. Now, moving on from there, I think the next one that I often see is sleep. And so many women, and men to be fair, but it affects women, I would say, more so than men, because if you're not getting enough sleep, and it's been shown, if you're not getting enough sleep, you're more at risk of being overweight, or more likely to be overweight and obese as well. Okay, so sleep is crucial to long-term health, and it's 2 reasons really. There's a hormonal shift that goes on. So with sleep, cortisol jumps up, the stress hormone steals from progesterone, estrogen gets out of balance, become more estrogen dominant, you store more fat around the hips and the thighs, you're getting older, menopause, estrogen drops down, then you store more belly fat as well. So it's all chain reaction. So got to get those hormones on track so that you can get better results long term as well. And secondly, is that you just make better decisions. So if you've not had any sleep the night before and the next day you have no energy, so you're unlikely to work out or even do a good workout, and more likely to make bad choices with your food. So I always give the example, if someone puts a cake in front of me after a terrible night's sleep, I'm going to eat the cake. And I'm sure that's the same for a lot of you out there. So bear that in mind. Get your sleep, sort your hormones out, and make better choices in terms of your exercise and your food the following day. Super, super important. Now, another one where I see a few sort of hiccups along the way is drinking your calories. So far too many people are hitting Starbucks, Costa these days, all the lattes, the cappuccinos, the frothy, waffy, God knows what. Tons and tons of calories in there, sugar if you're going in that route as well. So making sure we're cutting back on those types of drinks, but also the typical ones, the Coca-Cola, the lemonade, the energy drinks. Like energy drinks are huge nowadays. So many people drinking energy drinks, full of calories, full of sugar, and even if they're no sugar, they're full of ingredients that are nasty. All right, not good for you in any way. So make sure you're cutting back on those. And again, a lot of these drinks are sugary. So they're going to spike your blood sugar, spike your insulin, make it harder to lose fat. Lots of calories in there, and the same goes for the drink. Well, the same goes for the wine. The kind of dinner time, couple of glasses of wine. So if you add that up over the week, it's going to be troublesome in terms of you losing the jelly from your belly. And again, booze, wine, whatever it happens to be, it's going to spike your cortisol level, make it harder for you to lose belly fat. And it's something you want to at least reduce. So through the week, save it up for the weekend. Don't go crazy, but at least trying to reduce that. If your goal is to lose weight, these are some of the things you need to do. Okay, and I think the final one, possibly the final one, is always looking for the quick fix. And definitely for women, you are more geared up for the fad diets. Okay, so trying to steer clear of the quick fixes, thinking about it, right, what do I really need to do? And I always talk about doing a lifestyle audit. Let's look at your sleep, let's look at your diet, stress, hydration, exercise, look across the board, see what's going on, grade yourself from 1 to 10, and then start to apply habits onto those lower score categories and build it up that way. Because if you want long-term results, long-lasting results, permanent change, these are the things you've got to do, not some crazy diet, cabbage soup, whatever you want to call it. There's all sorts out there. So dodging those quick fixes, making sure that you're working on your lifestyle. So trying to stack the habits up one by one over the weeks, chip away. Now I often talk about habits in like the tools of a sculpture. So say you're creating your body and you're chipping away, okay, and the habits are the tools. So you'll chisel and you're chipping away, bang, 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 and that's how you're going to get long-lasting results. Okay, so there's just a few of the things that I see quite often that are holding people back, and instead of trying to sort those out, they look for the quick fix, new diet, new exercise program, new supplement, new pill, whatever. So make sure you're working towards getting those things sorted first. So the lifestyle factors, sleep, hydration, diet, doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Working on one thing at a time might just be your breakfast, okay? So one step at a time, improve those things over the weeks. And if your diet's completely pants right now, a diet overhaul is a no-go. So just changing up your breakfast, maybe some smoothies, just change one thing. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's going to stick. You're going to be able to bed it in and then stack something on top of that. Bed that one in, stack something on top of that. And that's the way you're going to get long-lasting results going forward. And that's what we work on in the 5-day challenge. So if you are keen to get long-lasting results, flatten your belly, shrink your waistline, then definitely check out the 5-day challenge, because it will blow your mind. So many people over the course of the 5 days had so many breakthroughs and use that as a springboard to go on and get better results, okay, to get long-lasting results. So check that out if you haven't already. Go to mybodyfixers.com and you'll find it somewhere on the page there, and I'll also stick a link down to the direct page down below in the comments. So, but if you do have any questions on all of this, then let me know. But I'm going to leave it at that. This one's gone on for what, 17 minutes now. So appreciate you watching. Again, if you watch the replay, stick a hashtag replay down below and let me know your thoughts on this. And if you do have any other struggles, if you have any topics you want me to cover in the Health is Wealth show, then let me know. But I'm going to shoot off for now. I'm going to go and get some lunch. I've been fasting today, and I needed it after the weekend of sugar and chocolate, after my daughter's sort of birthday party. So I hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time. All right, bye for now.